Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today we will continue with karyotype part 3. At the end of this video, students will be able to define haploid and diploid cells, write the chromosomal formula of an individual, and list the different elements of a chromosome. To accomplish the objectives of this lesson, you will follow up in worksheet number 4. First, let's name some cells of our body. Red blood cells, white blood cells, muscle cells, neurons, spermatozoon, and the oocyte. Can we classify these cells? Yes, we can. There are many ways to classify them. One way is having somatic cells and sexual cells. The somatic cells are all body cells except the sexual ones that are involved in reproduction. Somatic cells and sexual cells can be classified as diploid and haploid cells. What do we mean by each of these two terms? Let's figure out together. The karyotype of a sexual cell shows one set of chromosomes that can be represented by 1n chromosomes, where n is the number of sets of chromosomes. However, the somatic cell shows two sets of chromosomes, then it's said to have 2n chromosomes. A sexual cell having 1n chromosome is said to be a haploid cell, while the somatic cell having 2n chromosomes is said to be a diploid cell. Then the cells of the body can be classified in a different way, being a diploid cell, which is having 2n chromosomes, or a haploid cell having 1n chromosomes. How can a karyotype be represented by a formula? The chromosomal formula of the karyotype can be represented by mentioning the whole number of chromosomes found in the karyotype, semicolon, then the gonosomes, whether XX or XY. For example, for this karyotype we get the following formula: 46, semicolon, XX. In a karyotype, we get the arranged image of a chromosome. But what are the elements of the chromosome? All chromosomes have the same elements. They have two sister chromatids and a centromere that joins the chromatids. Each chromatid has a short arm P and a long arm Q. We have studied the karyotypes of normal cases, but what about abnormal cases like Turner syndrome, Edwards syndrome, and Down syndrome? If we observe the karyotype of a person having Edwards syndrome, we notice the presence of 3 copies of chromosome 18 instead of 2. Then the chromosomal formula would be the whole number of chromosomes here, which is 47, semicolon, the gonosomes here are XX, and since there is an extra copy of chromosome 18, it will be represented by plus 18. Another example is the karyotype of a person of Down syndrome. Here we notice the presence of 3 copies of chromosome 21 instead of 2. Then the chromosomal formula would be the whole number of chromosomes, which is 47. Here the gonosomes are XX and plus 21, since there are 3 copies of chromosome 21. The last example we'll study here is for a person having Turner syndrome. The karyotype shows only one gonosome, X, neither an additional X nor a Y chromosome. So the chromosomal formula would be 45, semicolon X, or 45, semicolon X0. To sum up, a haploid cell is a cell having 1n chromosomes, while the diploid cell is a cell having 2n chromosomes. The chromosomal formula of an individual can be written in the following way: the whole number of chromosomes, semicolon, gonosomes, whether XX or XY, and chromosomes have the same elements. 2 sister chromatids joined by a centromere, and each sister chromatid is made up of a short arm P and a long arm Q. Thanks for your listening.